Hey, everybody out there. Oh, just trying to make sure I don't get my little guy on camera. Hey, everybody out there, YouTube land, Facebookville, Twitterverse. I forgot where I'm going today. I don't think I did LinkedIn. We're welcoming back. We're welcoming back. No, we're back to Last Week Today Live, episode 99. And I'm not going to lie, I don't have a whole lot of things to talk about. I actually almost didn't do anything as far as the show goes today. It was just kind of like, you know what? I didn't do something last week. We got to do something this week. Um, I could tell you next episode, episode 100, I do want to do something a little bit different. I kind of don't know what. I don't want to do like a group hangout necessarily. Um, oh, hold on, it's his milk. Be right back. Here you go, pal. Um, but I need to figure out just basically what I want to do here. Before I get started, let's see who's here. Brad Wellbore is here. How are you, sir? From the Great White North. Trev, the shipping guru, big win on Brian's channel this morning, just a little while ago. I know that was part of the big 3-channel giveaway, so congratulations to you, sir. Yeah, you went from a show that just gave away like 10 books plus or 10 prizes bonus. Like, look, this is what you get here. There's no giveaway here today. Steve White. Steve and I will be appearing on Evil Mike's channel later tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, for our discussion of the Dark Tower books. I'm still finishing up this chapter, actually, but it was definitely a very good chapter. So make sure you check that out, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And again, that's on Evil Mike's channel. It's a whole series we've been working on. One away from Benji. Mr. Fanboy Prime, how are you, sir? Sorry, I got in very late this morning. A lot going on, and including lack of sleep. David's here, but he is working. By the way, Fanboy, I'm going to say something that only Fanboy might know. What Mike showed is the thing I have to send to the other guy. I haven't had time to do it yet, and I hope you remember what we're talking about. Otherwise, it's just me. DVH, another big winner this morning. How are you, sir? I wish food was ready for me right now. I didn't have a chance to eat quite yet. So everybody's just saying hi. Yeah, I know. That never happens, right? Yeah, I have 3 hours left to read. Let me tell you something. I have an hour left. The next 2 hours, Trev, is like the most exciting part of this whole book. Yes, Trev is there too. Yeah, so I was like, oh man, do I still do it? But I think I'm gonna do it because he doesn't know. So there you go. If I could find another one that's similar in the meantime, I might throw that in. Manny, how are you, Manny? Doing some great artwork this week. Check out Manny's IG page. Not just Green Goblin centric anymore. He's done some great Swamp Thing drawings this past week. By the way, Manny, have you seen? I think it's coming out next week. I saw it on Bueller's channel. Mike Del Mundo did a cover for it's some Spider-Man limited series that's coming out. It looks awesome, like Green Goblin coming out of a brain or something almost. Look it up if you haven't seen it. It's great. Well, I'm biased because of Del Mundo. Like, I know Brian was just talking about that J. Scott Campbell's dropping his. You're all set? All done? No more milk? You want milk? That was it? All right, let me get him down. My mom is trying to send me texts because she forgets that we're doing a show. Thanks, Mom. What? No, I know. Um, you might have to be walking with me for a second. Hold on. I'm going to get you down. I got to just figure out some logistics. Do you want to borrow my hat? Here, you can borrow it. Thank you. Yes, I need a haircut. All right, you're coming with me for a second, people. I'm going to warn you, in case you haven't figured it out yet, not a whole lot of comic talk this morning. I have been working on a project, hey, little girl, for the past 2 weeks, I'm going to say, that I honestly wanted to have done before I went back to work, and it didn't happen. There was a lot that didn't happen I wanted to happen before that. And the only way I could do it is because, I'm back at work now, so that's 9 to 5, and then helping out with my kids and doing all that stuff. That was, that will take me basically from the time I'm done working until 9, 10, sometimes 11, and just time to just like pass out and decompress. So I have been going to bed at 3 or 4 in the morning for the past like 2 weeks. And look, I understand that. First of all, you can't say more because it's a surprise. So there is some artwork involved, and I've been saying that, but I can't tell you guys for what. So yes, I've been drawing until about 3 or 4 in the morning for the past 1 to 2 weeks, and then look, during the week I'm waking up at 8, just to get ready for work. So it's definitely worn. I mean, last night was the first night I didn't have to draw, and it was good because my shoulder is just throbbing. And yes, definitely a secret project. Steve, I can say this: there is somebody else from our Between the Beams group who is also involved in that, and they're not here this morning. But yeah, so it's finally done. I think it's a ploy. He's Bat. Yes, it's Bat. I'm Batman. That's it exactly. You figured it out. That's why we live in a very small house. It's all a cover. There might be 2 people involved actually. Now that you say that, Trev, I forgot about Aaron, and that's a shame because Aaron's great. Yeah. So stay tuned for that. I'm not going to be the one to break what that is, by the way. That's going to be on some bigger channels. But yeah, I'm freaking exhausted. I haven't had a whole lot of time to do some reading. I could tell you off the top of my head, I know that I finished the Alpha Flight Mini from the Fall of Krakoa. Was very disappointed. In true kind of Marvel fashion, as of late, it's just kind of a 5-issue. Don't put your foot on the table, pal. I got to get you out. Excuse me a second. So Phil's last name is Wayne. That's not a great name, Phil Wayne. I don't know. Kind of sounds like it's indecisive, in my opinion. Okay. Go run around. You want my hat? That's his new thing. Marcus, how are you? Marcus, this is going to be an exhausting show. I'm just warning you. But yeah, so I'm tired. What? Circumstances, Marcus. My wife thinks she's being funny. I don't know why she even imagines that to be funny. But so yeah, I wasn't super thrilled with the ending with the whole Alpha Flight 5-issue series. By the way, Marvel's had those 5-issue. Hey, these are kind of nostalgia, but not really. Story doesn't matter. Just give us money. And there's only been a couple of them. Yeah. Hey, he's not crying, and that's fine. there's only been a couple of these 5-issue series that I'm like, oh yeah, this was worth it. Now, they had a semi-interesting couple of ideas in it, like with Boxes. If you're a old Alpha Flight fan, you might remember Box. Like Boxes, I think it's his son being involved with the Sentinel program, but at the end of the day, it's just very. It feels very hollow. And then knowing what I know about Wolverine's son, that's how I'm saying it without putting in spoilers. Hey, don't throw. Knowing these things, it kind of takes the wind out of the sail story-wise for me. That's just me, though. I'm trying to think. I don't even know what else I read. I did read a couple of other things. I guess it wasn't any good because it left no impression. But even we still haven't watched the latest on X-Men 97 yet. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a catching up. I'm going to pass out right after the show today because I'm going to need my energy for tonight. We haven't even thought about what we're doing for Easter weekend, though. But I'm doing a lot of flapping. What did you guys read this week? Is there something cool that I'm missing out on? Oh, DVH left. See you later. Well, he's gone already, so there. Enjoy, Steve. I will see you tonight, sir. Yeah, I know it's hard to believe Trev wins almost nothing, but he got a big win today. Yeah, and I have to pick up my books as well, but we've had other issues to worry about in the meantime. I will say this, big shout out to my LCS, who is not on right now, not watching us, because right now, as we speak, they are in the middle of their 42nd anniversary celebration. I'm not there because I don't need to be around a bunch of crowds. I don't like that. But if you're in northern New Jersey, if you're in the area, if you're in New York, hop on over Fat Moose Comics. I know he's having I think 35% off pretty much everything except for new issues and wall books. Look, I don't get a kickback or anything. I'm just telling you about it. He does have, I think, 4 or 5 artists signing today. Off the top of my head, I know Ava Schrager, Tom Rainey, who's there a lot. But he's been very, very good to that shop. I know that. Helped him out during COVID with some artwork. Jim Calafiore, who I kind of wanted to go and just see because I used to love the first Exile series, and he was on that for a good portion. I think it was while the Real World guy was on it. It might have been afterwards, but very unique style, a little kind of cartoony, which usually I don't go for that, but hey, it worked. So Sean, if you're watching the replay, I don't know if you are or not. If you are, Sean, just say something. But happy 42nd. Oldest running comic book shop in New Jersey, by the way. And I'm making a point in saying that because there is another store who claims to be the oldest, but they're not. It's just math. And it was kind of funny because I reached out to that old shop just to say, hey, just so you know, Fat Moose, and I'm the oldest, continuous owner. That doesn't count. How many places you go to, just regular stores where, it doesn't reset the clock because you have a new owner. But hey, look, if that's the story the guy needs to say, that's the story the guy needs to say. The only thing I don't like about the whole situation is there is another YouTube channel who's not in our little group typically, who knows this and kind of pushes that narrative. Unfortunately, due to a situation they had somewhere. You want this? Here. Yeah. He's had his milk and most of his water. So what are some? I'm trying to think. What are some comic things I'm looking forward to? Again, I have to get my pulse. I haven't been in there in a while. Definitely not going this week. Maybe 2 weeks from now. We'll see. We'll see. You know, and my pulls aren't crazy, so I assume that the pulled box, I should say, isn't crazy full. Maybe I'll check in with him tomorrow to see if that's the case, because I know I don't like leaving him in the lurch, and I think that's the worst thing you could do to a shop owner. What else? Other things. I mean, I'll be honest with you, comic-wise, I'm going to be, of course, reading the Fall of the X-Men stuff. The Rise of Krakoa, rather, or the Rise of X, whatever they're calling it now. I can't even keep it straight. And I don't know what I'm going to be continuing with yet post relaunch. I know a lot of people were excited about, here's the new X-Men books. These are going to be closer to the 90s. I don't want to take a step backwards. I know I'm going to check out Uncanny. I'm going to check out the adjectiveless one with Jed McKay and Wolverine. I really don't know what I'll be doing, after that. I can tell you right now, I'm not signing up for all 9 titles. It's just exhausting. But I don't know. What are your thoughts? Hey, Robin, how are you? I do have videos that we shot this week that I just didn't put up yet. Again, it's been a very long couple weeks, so you're going to expect to see some content from me at least early in the week. Thursday's the 4th, so you will see some Ruizing stuff. What's that? No. But yeah, I could tell you one thing that's been on my mind too, and it's something I kind of resisted talking about a little bit more, was, well, I'll go out and say it, was just, Reggie kind of not making videos. I don't know more than anybody else does. I did have at least 1 or 2 people ask me about that. And I said, look, this is what I know. Yeah, I mean, if it's whether what's going on with him is family or work related, you got to do what you got to do. It's, it's not my favorite thing, but I get it. And I feel like that's the sentiment of everybody. But it gets you to think, because, to be honest with you, one thing I've always admired about how Reggie does stuff, he's very organized. So I felt like he had one day where he shot like 5 videos and some shorts. And then, with the exception of the live show, just, did regular stuff the rest of the week, dad stuff, work stuff. And I know that there's been a lot of speculation that he's got this new big job and that's taking a lot of time from him. Maybe that's the issue. But it's like, look, if he can't balance it, how can I balance it? Like I said, I'm in front of you right now, exhausted because of a lack of balance, because I needed to say, hold on, this needs my attention right now. But look, I mean, I can tell you, I feel like YouTube is a little less special without Reggie, but I don't know. You gotta, at the end of the day, if you're a fan, you gotta respect his decision. Pretty much it. I know I'm a very cheery person this morning, right? I do have some other. Thanks, Trev. Yeah, and it's rough. I mean, I'm not even gonna get into what we've been dealing with, just with work stuff, family stuff. That's a loaded story. But look, at the end of the day, I think if you're in this hobby and I'm saying this because I know everybody comes from a different walk of life, if you're in this hobby and you have a family, you know what your priorities are. And yeah, that's why, like, I don't go to the LCS every week. I make sure that my LCS knows, it's not like, oh, Phil's falling off the face of the earth. It's like, no, I probably message Sean, my LCS owner, at least once a week or so, even if it's just to say, hey, I know this is coming up. Can you grab it for me? But look, we got to do what we got to do. And to be honest with you, like a big part of, I've said in the past, I subscribe to both Marvel Unlimited and DC Infinite or Infinity, whatever it's called. I don't use it as much, I'll be honest with you. And a big part of that too was just a cost saving measure. You know, rather than reading, let's see, if there's going to be 9 X-Men titles, if I follow 3 of them, if I'm reading 6 titles at $4.99, it's $30 a month. Somebody else do the math. One annual subscription to Marvel Unlimited or Unlimited Plus, you're already in the positive there. You don't have to use the physical. And to be honest with you, with my collection, it's like, okay, I'm trying to finally learn how to curate it a little bit more. I don't know if that makes sense. And I've been saying this a long time. I've been in the process of organizing and taking out things I just don't look like. I don't need this. But we'll see. Yeah, there is no. Brad, I can't nap this morning at all. Okay, I could feel myself getting more and more tired as we're talking. So I'm trying to think. I do have some indies I want to read. Oh, you know what? I did read something yesterday. I read the first issue of the Cable series, and I think there's 2 others out right now. Cable's a character I used to really like. I have most of his first ongoing. I have his limited series. His series after that, where they changed it to Soldier X, supposedly to get around the copyright things, where they didn't have to pay Liefeld, was one of the strongest, by the way. And I think people are just rediscovering that right now. Soldier X, again, if you happen to see that in a dollar bin or something. And I think his Messiah Complex series was great. That was where he was taking care of Hope from a crazed bishop, which I have to say, of all the ongoings, that was my favorite run. The most recent run where he was on Krakoa was great as well, where it was the young Cable. I didn't expect to like that one. This one, I don't know. I have some questions. I have to really kind of take it back. It's kind of weird. It's got that retro feel to it, like Marvel's been doing, but it does have some sort of modern infusions. Cable is rescuing young Cable, basically, and I'm a little taken out of it. I haven't seen Cable too much. I know he was in X-Men Red. Yeah, buddy. And what was it? The space one that they had for a little while. And then there was like a one-shot that Dugan did that I didn't like. And then I really didn't see him around too much. So apparently he's got some sort of person or computer program he's talking to that pops up in his shoulder. I don't know if that's a new addition or something that's old that they just kind of came back to. And they made reference to his telekinetic virus, the techno-organic virus, excuse me, which I thought was long gone. So I don't know if I missed something or because it's Fabian Nicieza writing it. I can't say his name. Big X-Men writer during the 90s who I grew up on, but it does feel like a bit of a dated type of storytelling. Yet he mixes in modern day things like, again, the fact that there's a young Cable there. So I think I'm going to stick with that. Kind of a weird twist with who the villain is. Somebody who's not related to X-Men, but I kind of like that. So yeah, I'm trying to think. Is there anything else? Oh, we watched. Has anybody? I haven't heard anybody in the community talk about it. But again, my YouTubing has not been as plentiful the last couple weeks. Has anybody been talking about or seen the Spider-Man short that Sony put out yesterday? I think it's the Spider. Is it the Spider's Shadow? I think it's called.
Spider Within.
No. It was called the Spider Within.
Oh, was that Vanna?
Yeah, because the cut, like there was a What If series last year that had the same title. It's a good series. Phil Noto did the covers on, but yeah, this is not connected to that. I hadn't heard anything about it, and then I saw like a quick. I think, hey, Sony's doing a short. I think it's for charity. I don't know. Yeah, but just because it had some sort of fundraiser logo on it.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. We like to watch shorts. The Disney Plus Groot shorts have been great. When we went to Disney in 2019, we went and saw like a series of shorts at one point. Yeah.
It was like the century.
Even on Disney Plus, sometimes we'll just sit and watch the shorts. Yeah, if you want to see a great short, by the way, Bao we like. What's the one with the dog? He helps his owner eat healthy. Yeah, but I can't think of the name of that one.
Probably under the shorts category.
Yeah, but it helps if you give them names. And the one with the chick by the ocean.
I don't know the name.
The bird, remember the bird by the ocean that we saw that one in Disney? That one's on Disney Plus now too. Bao is the only one I can remember off the top of my head. Other than Groot, Bao is great, and it gets you in the feels. I'm not going to lie to you. As far as this one goes, and Simpsons have had some good shorts on Disney Plus. It's hit or miss. Wasn't a huge fan of the Spider-Man one. It got a little creepy at one point. You were looking at me.
You?
Well, no, because you were. We've had certain issues go on here. I'm not going to talk about them because we haven't. If you know, you know. That's the only thing I could say here. So we try to limit. If we're going to watch something that we know is scary or something.
I mean, it wasn't scary. It was just kind of like, what?
Right, but we don't watch it at night. We watch during the day. And it's not that we get scared. It's just...
what's the point?
It's just... we don't want to be pulled into that right before bedtime, I guess you could say. And they had like a scene or two in that where it kind of had like a little bit of a horror vibe.
Yeah, it was strange.
But, and I understand it was a metaphor, about needing to sit down and talk about your issues and not just lock yourself up. That's what the whole short was about.
You gave it away. You spoiled it.
No, I didn't spoil anything. But I don't know. It just didn't hit. It was like, watch it or not. It's not going to add or remove from the Miles story. I would say it's 7 minutes long. Just watch it. Mr. Durs, how are you, sir? I was thinking about it. Look, who am I kidding? I keep saying in case you don't know. Durs, I think everybody here knows Durs. His Friday content, I like to save up like 3 or 4 of them and just watch them in a row. It's great on so many levels because it's unique. You don't see a whole lot of that. Scotty does some kind of stuff like that, but Durs does it a different way. And it really, I sometimes, like these kind of crazy times I've been talking about, it's what you need. It's like, in my book, as far as that content goes, you have Ted Lasso, and then you have Durs. So Durs is kind of like the Ted Lasso of YouTube, and I hope that you like Ted Lasso, because if not, I'm not doing Durs any justice. Lady Fantastic, how are you today? We were just doing our little X-Men talk. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, so make sure that you check that out and catch up. I have like 3 or 4 I need to catch up on with Durs, who also did he win? I think he won a duck this morning. I don't know if he won a prize or a duck. I was talking about Durs. I'm trying to think. I think that might be it for me today. I know it's shorter than usual. Yeah, Reggie's taking a step back from content creation. I was saying I don't know more or less than anybody. One thing I will say this, I do know about it. Isolation was put on hold. I don't know if that has to do directly with this, but I know that, and I'm not saying anything I shouldn't know. This is all public information at this point. If you're a fan of Isolation, Doug and company, I'll say, are moving forward with more very soon. I think he's actually going to do a Kickstarter in May, where you can get the Isolation trade paperback with some content that I don't know why, but it was cut out. And yeah, it includes something. I think he mentioned. I think Doug mentioned something. If you're friends with Doug Breton on Facebook, you might have seen this about, or on IG, I think he said it too, about a character that was cut, but he's bringing in basically now. So I'm excited to see that, and I like the idea of supporting, not just your YouTube friends and everything, but like, see, for me, the Brattons are local. They're like in the next town over, so it's kind of like, oh, the local people were kind of backing up here. Yeah. I mean, it's what happens, and I've even said, like, with this show, my son is 2 years old right now. At some point, he's going to be like, "Hey, Dad, I want to play soccer, or I want to play t-ball," and it's on Saturday mornings. It's like, all right, that would be the end of the show. But for now, yep. For now, we're here.
No.
Hey, buddy, did you want to say anything to anybody? MT, come here, pal. Do you want to say anything to anybody? Do you want to say hi? Oh. Okay. Sound machine. You brought me the sound machine. All right, hold on. I get a kick when he doesn't know. I just got off a 3-week exile for making. Yeah, and you know what? It's hard sometimes. I have a cooking video I've been editing now for months, and it's just no, and it's just like I'm at the point I was like, all right, I just gotta sit down one day and hammer it out, but that's just not doing it. And I know that you said unmotivation. You're unmotivated the same way. I don't think so. It's just that you're reprioritizing. And look, at the end of the day, I don't want to do. If I'm doing a video and I don't like it, I don't put it out. For me, it's like, if it doesn't interest me, it's probably not going to interest you. So then, what's the point? If we're all going to be bored, what's the point? So I'll say this: I've had times where my wife said, "Oh, how did this show, the live show, go today?" I was like, "That's so great." But a lot of people are like, "Oh no, this is great, this is great, this is great." So maybe my sense is off on that. Oh yeah, I mean, that's just natural. I mean, right now, for a bunch of different reasons, space, budget, time, there are no DC books I'm reading in print. Every so often I'll pick one up if I'm just like, oh, this looks cool. But yeah, I've cut out my DC print. I've trimmed down a hell of a lot with the Marvel print line, and the X-Men line is probably going to go the same way for me. The only constants the only reason I did mention the 3 that I did mention is because they are constants in my collection. The Eve Elwing one, you may have noticed, where the X-Men are going to Chicago and setting up. I didn't bring up because, for one, I really don't care for the majority of the stuff I've read from her. And 2, it's like, okay, well, I could read this one digitally. I don't need to read it in print. Let's see, catching up on the chat. Yeah, no, and it's not. I understand what you're saying, and it's not like I owe it to people to do, other than stuff on the giveaway, which I have not updated in a long time because that I need to. That is an obligation I made to people. And look, at the end of the day, I do want to get to 1,000 subscribers. And no, it's not for any monetary reason. Like, you're not making money off of comics on YouTube unless you have it feeding something else. You know, that's just how it is. Like, if you own a shop, for example, and that supports one thing supports the other. It's just how it is. Bottom tier. I recorded 3 35-plus minute videos this week and deleted them all, starting over and doing stuff I'm proud of. There you go. Hey, Brian. Brian had a good show this morning, too. Nice little giveaway show. Brian, by the way, has also been... I have to give some props to Brian. He's been saving me money because he does his Spider-Man reviews, which is one of the few videos that my son will sit down and watch with me. He doesn't comprehend. I think he just likes... Brian, I don't know if it's your voice or... I can't concentrate with him right now. That's fine. I don't know if it's your voice or just the images, but he's into it. He's your fan. Yeah, I'm talking about, like, they pushed it more in the 90s when it was explained that whole arm... Well, yeah, no, really, since Cable was sent into the future when he was a baby. They said Apocalypse infected him with some virus, and he had to use his telekinetic powers to keep it in place. And that was a big constant in the 90s, really. That was like the big focus of the series. Because I remember that the Age of Apocalypse Cable, Nate Gray, the whole thing was he doesn't have the virus, but he's physically burning himself out because he's that powerful. And then I thought after, like, the 2000s, he kind of purged the virus somehow, but I may be wrong. I don't know. Yeah, and we're kind of at the same point. I just celebrated 3 years. I'm at, I think, 341 right now. You know, for me, at the end of the day, it's kind of like I want to know that people are watching. You know, because then if it's like if it's just me staring into my phone and talking to my basement, you know, for a couple hours a week, what the hell am I doing? But it's cathartic in a way, and I think you guys are picking up on that too. Anyway, we're about 40 minutes in. I really don't have much to cover today. The 100th episode. I don't know if I'm doing it next week, I'll be honest with you. As I said, I want to do something special. I have been trying to coordinate something with my LCS owner, who's also a musician. I don't know that he's done anything, to be honest with you. But I could just say keep an eye out, keep a notification on. And when we're ready for episode 100, we'll be there. This week, I have a community unboxing. That video's already shot. Got a little something in the mail from Madam I want to share, which was awesome. I'll continue to work on that cooking video. I don't know if you'll see it this week. I do need to do an update video. And the 4th is Thursday. The 4th is Thursday. That'll be my Ruizing video. That would have been Carl's birthday. So we'll go from there. Anyway, I have nothing else today. I thank you guys for sharing, you know, the better part of an hour with me. Yes, have a happy Easter, or whatever it is you celebrate, if you don't celebrate Easter. And enjoy your week. What else is there to say but peace, love, and comments? Take care.